Let me ask you guys a question real fast. Can I be Phil or do you want Mr. O talking right now? Phil? Okay. So this is the dumbass, most worst diet plan I ever could think of. So I asked one of my friends, I'm like, so, hey man, like, so what do I do, bro? You know, it got me doing this show. And he's like, man, you just need to eat 50, 60 grams of protein and like 50 grams of carbs every meal. That's it. And I was like, really? That's it? He's like, yeah. All right, bet. Luckily enough, I was able to win due to the fact that I was probably training just as a bodybuilder now. And I was doing like these 2-hour weight sessions. And I was reading the magazine and you know, over time, I mean, I was able to gain weight, but I weighed 180 pounds when I played ball in college. I weighed 190 my first show. So it wasn't, I mean, too dramatic. But only thing I really cut out was like the pizza and beer, which got re-implemented the minute I stepped off stage after my first contest, after winning. Really after that show, something changed. I thought, wow, this is really cool. Whatever I put into this, I get out of this. Whereas in hoops, like you could score 50 points and still lose the game by 10, you know, it makes no sense. But for bodybuilding, it was very rewarding. So right after that, you know, I decided to keep going, and you know, I was able to actually win my pro card 2 years later. Before that actually happened, I remember in 2005, you know, I was really going through a lot of mess. You know, I was just the same broke-ass bodybuilder that a lot of people I see and I talk to on tour. You know, we all have the same story. You know, we're spending all of our resources just on a hope that, you know, we could be better in the gym. You know, I was working 2 jobs. You know, it wasn't up until the point where I got a phone call because I had met Jay Cutler and he had told me to give him some images and stuff, and he passed them around different people. But it wasn't until after that I started getting phone calls from companies. So in 2005, I was getting, you know, phone calls from like Steve Blackman from MD and Peter McGuff, who now writes for MD, but he was with Flex at the time. And, you know, I was getting ready to get sponsored. I actually was sponsored going into the Junior Nationals, which we all know, like, that doesn't really happen. But I was really fortunate for that to happen because the day of the Junior Nationals, all I had was $43 to my name. So yeah, I remember doing that juniors, and I'm thinking, I'm just happy to freaking be here because I didn't have no freaking money, man, and you know, I'm just happy to be on stage. And I thought, yeah, it was really, really tough. You know, a lot of people, you didn't have the support. I didn't have a support system, and I knew nobody. You know, I went to the show by myself. I knew one guy, and we trained at a gym together. Well, not even train with them. I just knew of them, and I remember doing that show, and I won that show. I got sponsored by AMI, you know, so Weider Health and Fitness, and I remember taking that check, and I was like, all right, so what am I going to do? I was able to buy my first car with this money. So I remember getting in the car. I got my 6-disc changer. I was driving a Lincoln LS, green, decent wheels, nothing too crazy. That came later, of course. I get rear-ended a half a mile away from my house. So here I'm getting ready for USA now with a beat-up car. Everybody at the gym, you know, is like, man, like Phil, you know, like he just signed with Flex, man. He's doing it, man. They're like, no, he's not, man. Look at that shit. That car right there. That shit horrible. Yeah, look what Weider gave him. You know, look what they gave him. They couldn't even give him a nice car. And you know, after that, I remember the residual effect of getting in a car accident, which still resides here today. When I get really lean, I'm sure you guys have seen me, like I get pretty lean. My back goes out every time. I get back spasm, and it almost can't be fixed. Fortunately, after 2009 Olympia, when I got sick, I started flying in my chiropractor, and he also does acupuncture. So he was actually able to get me back to actually being able to, I couldn't even raise my hands like this above my head. So he actually was able to do that. And lo and behold, I was able to win my first Sandow. I think when people ask me the simple question, what was it like winning your first Mr. Olympia? Now, I just told you some funny stories, you know, some minor hardships in life, you know, this and that. It was literally like this. You win, you go all the way back, flashback to childhood, all ups and downs, mostly the downs. And then